Welcome to the Songwriters Across Texas podcast. This state has a lot to offer, and music is one of its greatest exports. On this podcast, we get to know songwriters through their stories and hear some of their music. Today, we're at Arlyn Studios, and my guest is Deann Rene. I'm Karl Anderson, and this is the Songwriters Across Texas podcast. Both of her parents taught music, and her grandfather was a band director. Deann Rene grew up in San Antonio, heavily influenced by the Latin culture and her musical family. She knew she really didn't want to go into the teaching business, however. While she enjoyed music, she enrolled at Southwest Texas, now Texas State, and got a graphic design degree, which it turns out you can use to pay the bills sometimes. But early after graduating, a friend urged her to join her on stage to sing with her. This is where she began to find the power of performance. Answering a Craigslist ad for a cover band 15 years ago, she went there and played them her songs. They became her backup band, and after begging booking agent David Cotton for her own gig at the Saxon, the chance finally came. She's been playing there regularly these last 15 years, her own band, as well as a spell in John Garr's band, and she designs her own artwork for her records as well. It's a great pleasure to welcome to the show, Deann Rene.
Taken so long to let myself feel what I'm feeling, 'cause in the past I've been wrong, so I stopped believing that I could have love. 'Cause for me it's been dark and deceiving, but you shine your light, and now the darkness is leaving. And when I feel your lips on mine, I know it's love this time. 'Cause when you kiss me, when you kiss me, I can feel your love. Oh, I've been so restless, 'cause I'm afraid of making mistakes again. But your beautifulness, it's kept me from ending this before it began. And I know I am fear. I know it's not easy to understand. No, but I'm not afraid, as long as you're holding my hand. And when I feel your lips on mine, I know it's love this time. 'Cause when you kiss me, when you kiss me, I can feel your love. So thank you for showing me what it can be like when love can be patient and love can be kind. Now I believe in this gift that you've given to me. Oh, 'cause when you kiss kiss me, oh, when you kiss, oh, when you kiss me, I can feel your love. I feel your love. I can feel your love, your love. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I'm a one-man clapping band. That was awesome. Boy, your voice, you're a powerhouse, and you're got this killer voice. That's
Thank
just,
you.
It's got a lot to it. That song really was touching, and I think we got like a thunder clap in the middle of it, which was pretty rad if it got picked up.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It's probably almost silly to say, well, that song is pretty easy to follow. Was it for somebody or in particular?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, actually, I wrote that about my husband.
I was going to say, hopefully it's about your husband and I didn't just get you in trouble.
Yes, it's about him.
That's awesome. Oh, true love. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Chris.
Chris, and he plays too?
Yes, he plays in my band, and he also produced my album that's coming out soon.
Okay, I thought all of that, but and he probably does. Does he produce other people too?
Yes, he has.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Hey, Chris. Let's talk about the early days of San Antonio.
Yes.
All right. Let me hear.
Born and raised in San Antonio. My parents are all music teachers.
Right.
So my dad's a retired band director, and my stepfather is also
Right. It was just everywhere.
everywhere. It's all over.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Which, good, right?
Yeah.
Because you're getting filled. The music touched you immediately, obviously.
Yes. I mean, I grew up with it all around me.
Right.
Always had music in the house.
When did you first get up on stage?
Well, in preschool, I sang "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?"
That's right.
That was my first performance that I can remember. Yeah.
Were you playing too?
No.
No, I didn't think so. But you sang it in preschool, and do you remember?
I remember standing on the stage. I was all by myself, and my mom had made me a little dress, and I had a big bow in my hair. I remember that.
Were you psyched? Were you scared?
I wasn't scared then.
Then,
But then I had a little stage fright as I got older. But when I was a kid, it didn't bother me at all.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Kids don't, Well, I get.
They're different.
Yeah.
They don't have fear yet.
Right. They have, and they haven't been booed or.
Yeah. Yeah. That too.
Right. But so you do that, and then was it music from kindergarten, whatever? Like,
Yes.
did you pick up any instruments, or was it singing?
My dad taught me piano, and then when my parents divorced, that kind of stopped. But I still played piano. My mom got this old clunker and stuck it in the garage, and so I would just bang on that thing all the time. My brother and I would play it all the time, and so I would write songs to that.
You could write from an early, right? That's cool.
Just little things, little songs.
Do you remember any of it?
I remember I wrote a song that I was so angry because my dog ran away. My dog Fluffy.
Oh man! Oh no!
So Fluffy ran away, and I wrote this really mad song. So
mad and not sad. That's interesting.
Mad and sad, but I really don't remember it very well. But
did Fluffy come back?
Fluffy never came back.
I miss Fluffy.
But that's kind of one of the first songs I can remember writing. But I always made stuff up.
Well, it's a life experience gives you something to write about, right?
Yes.
So that you learned that one right up the top.
Yes.
So you're in San Antonio and you're up on the stage, but you said that the Latin culture in San Antonio really influenced you.
Yes, because my mother remarried another band director.
Right.
It's a long story. But
she just likes those band directors.
And so anyway, so we ended up commuting every day. San Antonio is so spread out. It's not like Austin. Everything's kind of close here, but we commuted like 30 minutes to the other side of town where it was predominantly Latin culture. Right. And so I found myself in a 4th grade class, and everybody was speaking Spanish, and it was a whole new world. So I started to get to make friends and hang out in their houses and be a part of that culture. And then I grew up from 4th grade all the way on. I graduated in that whole school system in that side of town.
Cool.
Yeah, so I was very influenced by the music and all of that.
Any music in particular that you remember that really sort of you found then?
Well, I mean, I grew up with Tejano music all around, playing all the time. And our high school dances, we would dance to Tejano music.
That's cool.
So, I mean, it was pretty common. That was just part of our dances.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the mixed culture. It's great.
It was cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad I had that.
I'm glad you did too. And then you went to South Texas. What is it now? It's Southern
Texas State.
They confused me with the way they changed it. It was Southwest Texas, and now it's Texas State.
Now it's Texas State.
There was a North Texas became something else too. University. I don't know, man. You guys are confusing me. Changing your names. Keep one.
I know.
But you went there and you were like, I'm not going into the teaching business. I'll tell you that much. But you were interested in the graphic design. So.
I was. Well, I ended up playing clarinet. I was all crazy about clarinet.
Cool.
And I went all through high school playing clarinet competitions and all that stuff. And then I ended up getting a music scholarship at Texas State.
Okay.
Playing clarinet.
You didn't tell me that before.
Oh, sorry. I got a music scholarship, and that's what I was going to do because that's what everybody else did in my family. And, and I just saw everything that they went through as teachers work so hard. And they don't get appreciated very much, and when they do, it's great. But I saw just all of the struggles that they had. I mean, they had being a band director, being a high school band director takes up your whole life.
Wow.
So I kind of I always say this, but it's true. I kind of grew up in a band hall. So
wow,
because.
Both my parents were teachers too, and and I think that though I was like, I'm not doing that either. I think you told me that. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I might not have.
So yes, I did not want to do that, but
I don't blame you. But I mean, but it's funny because You do teach now.
Now I'm a teacher.
But you teach.
Graphic design.
Yeah. So at least you got to, like, how did the graphic design come to you?
Well, when I was in school at Texas State, I was tired of being in a marching band. I was in marching band from 8th grade all the way up to when I was in. I just didn't want to do it anymore. But I still wanted to play, so I was still in the wind ensemble. But I lost my scholarship because I just changed my direction. Yeah. So I ended up looking into the whole art world and how could I make a living doing that. So I went into graphic design instead.
Gotcha.
That's what I did.
Gotcha. And then when you finished school, I mean, you were playing throughout school too, right?
Yes.
You never stopped with that. And so what was the music scene like there at the old university?
Oh, well, I mean, I was in the wind ensemble playing clarinet. So I didn't actually pick up the guitar.
Oh, I see. Was there a nightlife? I mean, like, was there music scene around there?
Absolutely.
Did you go out and watch music?
I would sometimes, yes. I would.
Okay, so when did it get from, okay, I got to get a band, or I got to get up on that stage?
I always wanted to do that.
Right.
And then I finally did it.
Well, you got out of college and you got a job sort of.
I got a job as a graphic designer right after.
Right.
And did that for a long time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, actually in San Antonio briefly, and then in Austin, and I was in Austin as a designer for a while, but I still wrote songs and I started learning guitar, and started making up songs on the guitar, and then I started doing some open mics and things like that.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to, the open mics. Those are important.
Yes, they are. They're great. Open mics are awesome.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it can just help you get the experience of being somewhere on a stage performing. And
yeah, and with your own material, especially. Yeah. I think that's what that's why they're so important, because people, man, you write a song and you haven't played it for anybody.
Yeah.
That's some scary stuff.
It's really scary.
Yeah. But once you get through it, obviously you don't, that does it go away? I mean, you're not scared to go play anymore, right?
Oh, I'm still scared.
Nervous? No, I get it if you are, because I still get anxious, like before this, before every show.
Sure.
There's some kind of, energy that runs through you, and you're going, I don't want to mess this up.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a bunch of people counting on me,
right.
and I'm sitting in the seat. So
yes.
There's definitely things that I have to go, all right, no, I'm going to be cool. Man, I got to tell it to be quiet.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I always have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that feeling doesn't go away. And my uncle actually is he was an aspiring country singer in Fort Worth for a while, and he moved to Nashville for a little bit. And I asked him when I was really getting serious about this, and he would perform and everything, and I asked him, well, how do I get rid of this horrible anxiety that I feel when I get on the stage? Like, I just feel like I can't do it, and I start shaking, and I feel uncomfortable, and I just, like, I doubt myself, and I have all these butterflies. And he said, well, that's all natural and normal.
Right.
And that's basically how you feel like you're alive.
Right.
Like, you're alive, so you have those feelings. That's normal.
Right, because the whole fight or flight comes in there a bit, and you're like, am I really doing this? Am I really going to put myself up here for this potential ridicule, I guess, is what it would be, because, fears are usually over, my safe, but, our poor broken hearts that could get hurt by, that's...
It's a scary thing.
Absolutely. But you overcome.
Yes.
And you wanted to get on the Saxon.
In the Saxon Pub.
In the Saxon Pub, one of the great clubs here in Austin, and they have a nice tradition of residencies. Mm-hmm. But they're not necessarily easy to come by. They don't just hand them out to anybody.
No. No.
Talk to me about how you approached David Cotton and what all that was about. 'Cause David Cotton is a funny character who was booking clubs, for decades. It seemed like, before I got here, he was already well into doing it, and he used to help Casey out in the old days and stuff. And so I know who that dude is. I've spent a lot of time on the phone with him, so I could just imagine, this scene of you, hey, David.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't book it now.
Right.
Now Jody does, the owner's daughter.
Right.
So, but no, I hit up every club I could, and I still do. To get gigs in this town, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Right.
You have to really be persistent.
Yeah.
So,
There's so much to choose from.
Well, there's so much to choose from, but there's some great rooms in this town that they're hard to get into.
Sure. So Saxon's again.
Saxon's difficult to get into. Continental. I haven't had the privilege to play Continental.
Gotta crack that code.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah.
I want to. But I was lucky enough to get my foot in the door at the Saxons, so they kind of know me there. And so, yeah. Well,
that's where I've always seen you throughout the years. I mean, to me, I picture, that's your place.
It kind of feels like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's pretty great. But, yeah, I just begged and begged and begged and finally got a show at, on a Tuesday at midnight or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah, you did. I'll be there. Yeah. Was there anybody else there?
I don't remember who played before me, but I was the last act.
Right. No, I've been in those last act rooms before, and they get a couple folks sometimes, but that's not a bad place to start. You know, if you can do it and not be like, oh, the hell with this. Why am I bothering?
Oh, no.
Might be that.
Before that, though, I played on Red River a couple times. Just anywhere I can.
Sure. All right, so I feel like it's time to do another song, Deann.
Okay.
What are we going to do next?
We're going to do Fly Away.
Fly Away?
Yes.
Here we go.
It's time to surrender, all your battles have been won. You're wishing you could have one more trip around the sun. Worries of the ones you love don't matter now. What's done is done. We gather around you and we say our last goodbyes. We try to laugh and comfort, hiding tears in our eyes. We don't want to let you go. We know we will see you in time. So go, you can fly away to a better, peaceful place. We know we'll see you again someday. Now that you are gone, we cry your name and we grieve. Selfishly we miss you, but we know you had to leave. Grateful that you aren't in pain and you are not suffering. Oh, but you are still alive, even if fate tore us apart. We had to let you go, but feel your music in our hearts. We'll play it singing praises of the beautiful spirit that you are. So go, you can fly away to a better, peaceful place. We know someday. Go, you can fly away. Thank you.
Anything in particular about that one and how it came to you?
Yes. Well, my one of my friends was passing away and in hospice, and this was a couple years ago. And he's a songwriter. He was a songwriter here, Alan Stewart. And so as he was transitioning, I just started writing this song. I couldn't just wrote it all down. I think I wrote it in a couple of hours. It's one of those quick ones.
When you get, when something like that's going on, it's just pure inspired.
Yeah.
It just comes, you just pluck it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just so crazy because now that song I've related it to other people that I've lost since as well. So it's just kind of a.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, everybody loses. The longer you go, you're going to lose people.
Yeah.
And to have songs like that are very comforting,
Yeah.
For others too. I mean, not just for you who wrote it, I'm sure, but a lot of people that don't know how to handle, we're here to help people handle their feelings. That's the job.
Well, that's one of the most beautiful parts about writing a song, performing it, and then seeing somebody react to it.
Yeah.
And I've played that song before and gotten off the stage and somebody's in tears. And it's just like, it really just gets me,
Yeah, I mean, it's really the entire reason to do it.
Yeah.
If you think about it. I mean, obviously, if you get famous and you make a lot of money, I mean, everybody says that's not it, We know that's not it. I mean, obviously there's this, well, give me some of each, how about a little fame and some money?
Yeah. Well, that would be good, but
to touch, the reason to make art is to help, to touch somebody, and so somebody else connects with the thing you made, and that's what makes it last or not, I suppose.
Yeah, it's so moving to have that experience. It's just wonderful to feel that, like, to move somebody when you're...
Especially when you wrote of something that came from some pain and you processed it and then you give it, and then now they can process, and so that's the gift.
Yeah.
You got the gift, girl.
Well, I try.
Yeah. So I love this Craigslist. You people were doing a cover band. Is that right? Is it like the original thing, and they were looking for somebody to be in their band? I
was in one of my childhood friends. My friend Tanya, from that area of town where I started going to school. Yeah. We were like inseparable, and we played clarinet together and all that stuff. Nice. We grew up together, but we were always harmonizing together and stuff. And dreaming about one day having a band. And then eventually she actually did. And then she asked me to sing with her. And it was a Latin rock band. So we started performing all around town, singing in Spanish and English. Nice. And it was really cool.
What was the name of that band?
It was called Boca Stria.
Boca Svia?
Boca Stria. Stria.
Stria?
Boca Stria.
Boca Stria? Yeah. That's one word?
Yeah, it's not an actual word, but it's like words combined.
Boca, I know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't understand the second part. Anyway.
Well, we performed around town for a couple years, and then that kind of dissolved, and I moved on and started just doing my own band and my own music. And then when I was looking around for musicians, I went to Craigslist. This is a while back.
Like fitting.
And there was a band that was just looking for a singer, and I was like, well, I'll go audition. So I went and I brought my guitar, and I said, I know you guys do all these covers, but how about this song? And so I played a couple of my own, and then we all started playing my music together. So
that's a great story. Yeah. It really is. That was one of my favorite things that you told me the other day how that came together, because there is this thing in life that's like the serendipity, and that things, they happen, and then it goes. You think it's going to be one thing, and then it becomes the thing that you've been looking for.
Yes.
So I love that, and obviously it's not the same guys.
No.
15 years later, you've moved players in and out of your band since that inception. But that inception was pretty huge for you.
Yes, it was.
Then you could go to David Cotton and go, hey, man, can I have a gig? No. Hey, man, can I have a gig? No. Hey, man. All right, 12 o'clock on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Exactly. But we did get our first gig. I think it was 1 a.m. On like a Monday or something at Headhunters. Remember Headhunters on Red River?
Sort of.
That was my first gig performing my songs with the band that I was working with my songs.
Right.
At Headhunters.
Right.
Yeah, at like 1 in
Right.
the morning. And there was like pretty hardcore punk bands, all lined up. And then I get up there with my acoustic guitar, and I'm like, did they listen to the songs? Because we don't really, I don't know if we belong here right now. But there was like people yelling in the microphone.
How were you received at Headhunters?
People seemed to like it.
That's crazy.
The few that were there.
That's amazing, though. They're probably so glad to have all that big, loud racket. Oh, my God.
It was quite a difference compared to the lineup.
That's still awesome. And, again, what a place to cut your teeth.
Yeah.
It's all about cutting teeth. And
it is about cutting teeth, yes.
Yeah. And that is a place to cut your teeth. And then... Yes, and you got your Saxon gig, and you have that, and then tell me about your how you fell in with John Garr's band.
My friend that was singing backup for him, she kept telling me, you got to come see. And then my husband was going to see him. He played every Sunday at the Saxon at 5:30 before the Resentments for, I don't know, 6 years maybe.
Wow.
Right. And... She said, anytime I need a backup singer, I need you to come and fill in for me, because so she went on vacation one weekend, and it was Labor Day weekend, so I learned all the songs, and we didn't even rehearse. I just got up there and sang all of her parts, and then I was in the band. Wow. After that.
Guess he sang them good.
So then she and Michael Cross and I were his backup singers for.
Gotta correct that English.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. So we were in that band, and we played with him, and we sang on his last album too. So. Yeah, for a long time we were in that show every single Sunday, at the Saxon Pub, 5:30.
That's a great way, though, to just keep cutting your teeth and keep getting more and more, because the experience, the repetition of it is what makes it good.
Mm-hmm. It was
what makes
really
it pro.
Good band. Yeah.
That's how athletes get there. You're gonna want to play pro sports. You want to play baseball for a living. You're going to swing a bat so many times.
Yeah.
You're gonna throw so many balls. That's what it is. But it's fun. The repetition's fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So I ended up getting my own residency at the Saxon for several years, too, as well, on the Sundays before John, every first Sunday of the month. So I did that for a long time. But then COVID. All of that was canceled.
COVID canceled everything for
all
a few
my
minutes.
shows. And when they finally reopened, that little matinee dissolved. So they don't open that early.
I got you.
I don't have that now. So.
But they're still giving you gigs here and there.
Oh, yes.
Of course. That's
Yeah.
This is the important thing, Deann. We got to have you in there now.
Yes.
There's people that are counting on you.
Yeah.
So we're out of time, Deann, but I'll tell you what, it went fast. I sure enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.
Will you close us out with one more?
Yes.
Cool. Which one's it going to be? Superman?
I think it's going to be Superman.
I voted for Superman. Let's hear it.
You came into my life. I was surrounded by kryptonite. But you gave me the strength to leave for a better life. I felt your fear of not knowing what's next. You need to know that you don't have to live this way. And you don't have to try to be Superman. You don't have to try to be Superman. You already are to me before you. I never thought I'd know this love I know. As time's gone by, it's only greater as I've watched you grow. I know it's painful to face your villains. I'm proud of you for standing up for who you are. But you don't have to try to be Superman. You don't have to try to be Superman. You already are to me. I tried to save you, but you ended up rescuing me. When everything was burning down, you could see through the walls no one else could see. When it's time to fly and follow what's written in the stars, always remember we have the power to heal our scars. You don't have to try to be Superman. You don't have to try to be Superman. You don't have to try to be Superman. You already are.
I love that Superman, Deann Rene.
Thank you.
That was Deann Rene. Thanks so much for being here. Do you have a website?
I do.
What's it? DeannRene.com?
That's right.
Okay, good. DeannRene
Yes.
.com. Go check
yes.
it out. Click the like and subscribe button if you haven't done it, please. That's good for us all. And but if you've been listening to this and you want to watch it on the YouTube channel, go to the Songwriters Across Texas and find it there. Thanks again, Deann.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right.
It's an honor.